So the other day I went to the homeless shelter and you're not even gonna believe how I ended up in this place. You see, I ended up getting arrested and I got arrested for one of the most bullshit reasons ever, okay? Listen to this, people. Now, I had a little side job because, as you guys know, I don't have a real job. I just do bullshit work here and there. But one of the things I did was I would go up to a local elementary school, and when the 10-year-olds would come out, I would offer them, my services to them. And by services, I mean I would offer to do their homework for them. And I charged a pretty decent rate of $5 per homework assignment. And I got a lot of the kids to go along with it, about 50 of them or so. And, I would meet them after school right when they were coming out of the building. I'd be like, hey, Jimmy, you need me to do that math homework for you? I got you covered, $5. And, Jimmy would show up with $5 in his pocket, give it to me, and I would, do that shit. And it was actually pretty good because the homework assignments were so simple. I mean, we're talking about basic mathematics and, it would be silly shit like connect the dots, but you had to connect the dots from 1 to 20. I mean, I could do this shit in my sleep. And, I mean, granted, a lot of the times the homework assignments didn't pass, but I still did them. I kept to my word, and I did the assignments for everyone that paid for me to do them. And I made some pretty serious bank off of this, too. I had about 50 or so students that were paying me for this, and it was about $5 per assignment. So 50 times 5, carry the 0, is about $1,000 a night I was making. $1,000 per night, just doing little 10-year-olds' homework. I mean, that was great, right? Well, get this. The goddamn cops show up one day, and they say, are you offering to do the homework for these kids? And I was like, yeah, I am. And then the officer's like, well, are you telling them to pay you for it? And I was like, yeah, I'm telling them, $5. I mean, it's no big deal. It's $5. I mean, I know these kids don't have jobs and stuff, and I told the officer that, and I was like, I just told them to take the money from their parents. Like, I mean, are their parents really going to miss $5? And plus, I'm helping their dumbass kids get through school. Anyways, the officer didn't like that so much, and, he's like, you can't just free enterprise yourself in front of this school. And he ends up arresting me. And go through all this bullshit, and luckily enough, the kids that I did the homework for took up a collection. They took more money from their parents unknowingly, and I was able to get my $1,000 bail posted, which was nice. I'm so glad the kids came through for me from that end. But I ended up going to court a few weeks later, and the judge says he's going easy on me because it's my first time ever being arrested, and he basically sentences me to 30 days of community service. And I have to do this community service in a homeless shelter. And I was like, oh my God, no way, that's stupid. I was like, can I just have 10 years in jail? I don't want to work with some stinky, smelly homeless people. I mean, have you seen the type of people that go into a homeless shelter? They're filthy, and they smell bad. I mean, I didn't even want to wrap my mind around this. I'd rather just, serve 10 years in jail with, hardened criminals and just, leave it at that. Well, anyways, the judge said, no, you didn't really do anything that warrants 10 years in jail, so we're just going to give you the community service, and I'm cutting you a break. And I'm just like, what? That's not much of a break. That's probably just going to do me in, working with these filthy, stinky, smelly homeless people. So anyways, I go down, I start doing the community service thing, and all the people there that work there are like volunteers. I mean, people volunteer to work with stinky, smelly homeless people. I know. I can't believe that either. But anyways, my supervisor down there is like, yeah, well, Archfiend, just try and get these people, motivated when they come in and they, are down on their luck, try to, tell them how to succeed in life and all this other shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, that is so lame. So anyways, I start talking to some of the people there because I have to do something. I mean, I kept sleeping during my assignments there, but the supervisor kept waking me up saying, you just can't come here to sleep. I'm just like, all right, fine. I'll communicate with the homeless people. I was like, all right, stinky, smelly homeless person, what's your deal? And he would start talking about his life and how he's down his luck and his family's dead and all this other shit. I'm just like, oh my God, that's I couldn't even hear what he was saying because the odor, it was clogging my mind, just the odor and the look of filth on him. I was like, all right, you know what? It's a real fascinating story, but you just come with me. And I was like, you know what? You 6 come with me too. And I just grabbed 6 of the most stinky, smelly homeless people. And I took them out. I took them out for a ride around town. And I mean, I didn't let them in my car. What I would do is I'd let them like lie on the hood of my car and then like, you know, up on the luggage rack. And we had a little field trip. And today's field trip was going to the car wash. And I basically, what I did is I drove through the car wash with the homeless people on the car itself. And I thought this was amazing because I could have sworn all 6 of these people were black, but they actually weren't. They were just really filthy, disgusting white people. And then when we came out of the car wash, I was like, holy shit, people aren't going to recognize you now. Well, anyways, word of what I did got back to my supervisor at the homeless shelter, and she freaked out on me. I was like, oh my God, what the hell's the big deal? Did you see what these people look like before I took them out on the field trip today? They were disgusting, and now they smell like they're human beings now. I was like, I did them a favor in life. So anyways, the supervisor gets on my ass and won't let me leave the homeless shelter anymore. She says, all right, Archfiend, you got to stay here, and you got to work the soup line here. And I'm just like, oh, great. I got to feed these stinky, smelly bums their food every day. And she was like, yeah, that's basically what you're going to do for the rest of your service here. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. So anyways, I'm up there at the soup kitchen line there, and they're feeding them their bowls of some disgusting soup that, I don't know, it was like some vegetable, potato, tomato concoction. It looked really disgusting. Anyways, I'm just, you know, ladling this shit out in the bowls as they come by, and every single time these homeless people come up, the odor, it just, oh my God, it was just nauseating. It got so nauseating to the point that one time I physically got ill. And I was right there in front of the pot, and luckily no one was waiting in the line and no one was really looking at me and they didn't see this. But I just threw up into the big pot of soup. Just threw right up in it, and luckily the consistency of the soup was such that you couldn't really tell, I should say, that I vomited in it. And people started coming up again, and I started, you know, ladling out the soup and put it in the bowls, and one of the homeless people comes up and he starts eating it, and he goes, that's odd. This soup tastes just like Thin Mints. And I said, I know. True story. You like some, Mr. Sparkle?